If you're a new functional consultant, BA, transformation analyst, change manager, or you are moving to a new role of a company or a project, regardless what role you're working in, I believe getting clarity on these 5 pillars, asking these questions will set you up for success as well as set your company for success on your assignment. Therefore, don't wait clarity to come to you. Work actively to understand gaps and then create clarity from your learning. I'm going to cover another early career mistake, which is believing what you think happened is actually what happened. Imagine you bring in an improvement for the team's processes and somebody disagrees. They ask the same question twice. They quite seem reserved and is an important stakeholder. And at this point, we assume that they're not collaborative. They don't like the idea. And this is exactly where you need to stop and reevaluate if your assumption is right. Understanding people does not mean reading their minds. And that's exactly what our brains do when we start assuming and filling gaps. At this scenario, we would think they don't trust us. They don't support our experience. They are resistant to change. This is going to be a difficult stakeholder. But those are not facts. They are your interpretations. In most workplaces, this is where bridges get burned. Understanding loop is a model that will help you break out of this habit of filling the gaps with assumptions. First is the fact, what actually happened. Second is the interpretation, your version of the story. Third is the assumption, what was missing and what did you assume from the missing information. Question is where it will help you break through, go to the other side and improve understanding. And then you got to validate using questions and update your understanding. Let's take the example we talked before. Somebody raised a concern about the proposal in 2 separate meetings. And my interpretation is they may have concerns about this change. And then I assume that they're a difficult stakeholder and resistant to change. How you can verify your understanding is be curious. Ask what concerns about this approach. What would you think would not work if we go down this path? Will help you understand something you didn't know. Exactly the hidden context when you join a new role. There might be a decision, risk, a support change, or a friction that will make it not work for the team you're working on. So you can walk away from the updated understanding of this person actually want this change to work for the team, which is going to make your proposal even better when you incorporate their feedback. So the key action here is you got to mentally register what's your interpretation and assumption. And make sure, be curious and clarify if your interpretation is right and your assumption is valid. So before you decide what someone meant, ask yourself, what did I actually observe? What are the things I may have been interpreting? What assumptions am I making with this missing information? What questions that will help me to validate if my interpretation and assumption is accurate? Realized over time is more senior you become, the clarity of your role would be less when you step into a new project and a product. And that's why you get paid more. But if you're a new person joining a role and have an idea of what the gaps are, questions to ask to clarify these areas, it will help you succeed or move on in your career more quickly, add value to your project, product, or company quickly as you know what you need to look for. Often, nobody give you a neat guide of how to do that. Therefore, I thought I will give you the questions I ask directly from my notebook regarding these 5 aspects that will help you to understand the maturity and role success, even you're a beginner or an expert navigating the change. It will help you enjoy the ride as you understand your thinking pattern and there's more. Don't believe what you see is what actually happened. Realizing and practicing this model of turning what you interpreted and observed to clarification Through questioning and curiosity, updating your understanding will help you build more effective partnerships as well as bring success. Thank you.